NBA coach, I would say, when I spent my time as a graduate assistant at Pepperdine. I was at Pepperdine with Marty Wilson. I spent a little time in college at a mid-major, and it was a lot of work, and I thought, maybe college wasn't for me at that point in time, and I really wanted to transition to the NBA. That would have been around 2014, 2015. And then I went right to work for Sacramento Kings with George Karl. So at that moment in time, I thought that was probably the best move for myself, and now I'm here.
Curious, obviously you worked with Frank now for a number of teams. When did you first meet him, and just maybe speak to the connection that obviously you two had?
I met him after my first year in Sacramento, in Orlando. He had just got the Orlando job, and he was looking for an assistant video coordinator at that time. So I interviewed there, met him, and it was a connection that we had an automatic bond. And he hired me there, and he's always been my guy ever since. So I worked with him in Orlando, and he got the job in LA. He brought me along, and that was a great process and great opportunity to work with the Lakers. And then now he has a job here. I'm here now. So.
The other thing I had was your coaching style, and talking with a couple of the guys. They're like, well, he's chill, but he'll get after you. And just when people I've talked with, it almost sounds like you have great knowledge of the game, know how to communicate, but you will get after people. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I mean, I'm a human being like everybody else, right? They're looking at me as a young coach, which I am a young coach, and my style is I treat people with respect. I don't think I have to get after everybody, every practice, but I do have demands that have to be met, right? And one of that is playing hard and playing with effort and exerting themselves. And if they're not doing what I'm asking, and I have to get on somebody, I will. So I have no issues doing that. I've done that for a long time. And I think that relationship that we build throughout this process makes our bond stronger. When I see them across the league or they come back and play summer league, we still have that connection. And that's kind of what I want to make a lifetime connection with these guys.
Coach, I'm Kellen Olson. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the Valley. As a fellow Wildcat, I feel obligated to ask about you.
Bear down. Yes, sir.
Not a lot of people like that around here, as you know.
That's okay.
That's okay with us. We don't mind at all. Can you tell me a little bit about your basketball experience there and just how that kind of helped shape you?
Oh, man, I had a tremendous experience working with Sean Miller and that staff they had there, Book Richardson. Those guys took care of me, and they helped me learn and grow as a coach. After I finished up my last season with the Wildcats, that summer they let me sit in the video room with the managers and learn how to cut video, which allowed me to get my first job as a graduate assistant at Pepperdine, which allowed me to get my next job, which was in the NBA. So I owe a lot to those guys. They took care of me, they helped mold me, and basically give me a head start on coaching. So a big thank you to those guys down there in Tucson.
I wanted to ask you about Jordan Good when he broke onto the scene last year. Just what have you seen getting to know his game and getting him in this practice?
Man, he's an unbelievable competitor. He wants to win at any cost. He'll do whatever he needs to do for his teammates. So he's a tremendous teammate. He wants to pick up full court. He wants to change the game with his pace. And he's showing that here in our summer league practices, and hopefully he shows that when we get to Vegas, because I think that's something that, with our main roster, we can utilize a little bit with him. So it'll be good.
Coach Gerald Bourget, welcome to the Valley. Nice to meet you. I'm just curious about Isaiah Todd. He's a young player. I know you've only been in the gym with him a couple of days, but what have you seen of him so far?
Man, he just wants to learn. I think this is obviously a new situation for him. Fresh environment, new scheme, culture. And he just wants to learn, and he asks the right questions, and I want to do my best as his head coach to put him in the right positions for him to be successful. And that's what this whole summer league's about, is putting our guys in the right positions where they can have success and they can build on moving into camp with us and as we move forward our season. So he's been eager to learn. He's in the gym shooting all the time. He asks the right questions, whether it be offense, defensively, scheme, spacing. All right, so he's got a great mindset right now, and I think with him it's all going to be mindset, his ability to process information and learn on the fly with us.
To your point about putting guys in the right positions, obviously for a second-round rookie coming in, there's a lot to learn. What have you seen from 2 months?
Oh man, 2's phenomenal, man. I think he's going to be a great player. He's got the skill set to be a perimeter defender. He has the ability to be a roller on your offense. If you need him to be a roller, and he can space the floor. He can do a little bit all. So with him, it's just getting comfortable with our schemes and our coverages, and that's a big piece of what I'm trying to do here is implement a lot of our stuff that he may have going into training camp. So he's been doing a heck of a job. He asks the right questions. He wants to watch film. He wants to learn. He wants to basically get the answer to the test before the test happens, which is always good for a young player, right? So he's doing everything he needs to do, and hopefully we can showcase a little bit of that at Summer League.
Mark McClune, Arizona's family. Just for a young coach getting this opportunity at Summer League, what's it mean?
Oh man, it means, listen, anytime you get head coaching reps in this league, you take them. I had the opportunity to coach the Lakers Summer League team 2 years ago. And now when this opportunity came about, I'm a guy that doesn't turn down the option to take head coaching reps. People don't understand when you're the head coach, you make a lot of decisions that you normally go over your head when you're not. So it's the reps of, what time's the bus, what time's your meals, what time do you want to shoot around, like all the questions that they ask you. And anytime you get those reps, you got to take them, right? Especially if you're not going to go down in the G League and get a full season of those reps. And I haven't had that opportunity. So I want to get as many of those reps now as possible. That way I can grow as a coach. And when my time is right, I'm ready for that opportunity.
What has been League Washington 12 News? What has been the key for you to ascend in the coaching ranks and have the experience you have at such a young age?
Man, to me, the key is work hard and be a good person. Work hard. That's one thing that is accounted for in every organization. Everybody wants hard workers that can do the job. Eric Spoelstra one time told me, you got to do the job before you get the job. That was one thing he told me as a mentor statement to me, and that's always how I approach things. When I was an intern video guy and I wanted to be an assistant, I was an assistant. I wanted to be an assistant, so I acted like an assistant coach. I did assistant job, roles when I was allowed to, and that helped me grow with my voice with the team. And then when I was a video guy turned assistant coach, hey, listen, if it was organizing, summer programming, or any of that stuff, I jumped on that stuff, right? Because you got to do the job before you get the job. And that was a big thing for my growth. And as long as you're a good person in this league, people respect that. And I hang my hat on that wholeheartedly. You got to be a good person. You got to be a good person, treat people with respect, and they'll treat you with respect.
What was the relationship with Kobe like? How much did you guys interact?
One more time?
You said relationship with Kobe, was that right? Was that what you said?
No.
With you being a young coach,
Yes.
these young guys being, wanting to make their mark in the league, kind of
Yep.
all being in it together.
Yep.
What is that dynamic like, leading these guys?
Man, you know what? I think it makes the dynamic fun, right? Because I listen to the same music they listen to. I like the same things they like. I'm 32, but I'm still kind of in the mix of things. I got young siblings that I hang around, and for me, I can relate to them. I've always been a guy that can relate to players. Just kind of being in those shoes. I've never walked an NBA player, I've never been an NBA player, but I've been those young guys that wanted to get to this level. So I know how much they want it, and I'm gonna do my best to help them get to where they want to be.
Dana Scott from Arizona Republic. Welcome to Valley.
Man, I appreciate it.
I'm wondering, since Vegas is a place where so many things could happen, and you're a young coach, these guys are really young, a lot of them are in their first, second years, third. What do you tell these guys to stay away from some of the temptations that happen in a place like Vegas?
Man, telling a young guy to stay away from temptation. Well, this is the only thing I say is you got to be smart. Nothing good happens after 12 o'clock. Right? So I tell them that, just like I was told. These are adults. They got to be adults. They got to understand that this isn't a trip to Vegas to have fun. This is a job interview. Everybody here is interviewing for a job. So as long as this mentality is a worker's mindset and a worker's mentality, hey, listen, we're going to Vegas to work. This is not a fun trip. You can stay in Vegas after Summer League's over if you want to have fun. Right? But nothing good happens after 12. Take care of yourself. Right? I try to tell these guys, hey, listen, buddy up if you got to. But listen, I don't want anybody being late, and I want everybody being responsible. Our security guys shouldn't have any late night calls with any issues with them. And I've made that very clear from our first meeting as a group, and I'm going to hold them to that standard.
Is that part of the command you're talking about over a team and getting them to understand all what needs to be done?
Yes, and like I said before, I've been there. I've been a young adult going to Vegas wanting to party. All right, I've been there. But I also understand the value they put into this and all the hard work they put into this. They don't want to mess that up by going out and getting in trouble. All right, so treat this as a working trip. If you want to stay late, you can stay late and enjoy your time. But while we're there from the 10th to the 17th, we're there to get a job. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to put them in the best position to get a job.
Coach, you've worked with Vogel before.
Yes.
Pretty much all of the assistants worked with him in LA at some point in time. How much does that help kind of streamline things to have that familiarity right from day one with a lot of these assistants?
Oh man, that's the automatic is that we come in with a familiarity with the scheme and system. And we have the ability to teach that scheme and system. It's not coming in, learning a new coach's scheme, and then having to sit down and break down and teach it and learn how to teach that system. So we come in, we've taught this system in Orlando, we've taught this system in LA. A lot of us have a lot of comfort with Frank, and Frank does a good job of allowing us to coach. And he puts a lot of demand on us coaching it the right way, but he also trusts us to go out there and do it the right way. So, he doesn't micromanage us, and he knows we'll do it the right way and make sure our guys are prepared to play by game one.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Good luck.